You're watching Blueprint and Times Now. Time now for the latest headlines at 6 p.m. today. Take a look. Big loss of face for the opposition. Top court probe CBI number 2's case against CBI number 1 gives CVC 14 days time to investigate charges. Rahul Gandhi leads Congress protest over the ouster of the CBI top boss. He also courts arrest, claims the Prime Minister cannot hide from the truth for long.
उन्होंने अब सीबीआई डायरेक्टर घोटाया, देखिए देश में अराजकता फैल गया। जो काम रात में करना चाहिए वो तो किया नहीं, अगर किए होते तो कब का विकास पैदा हो चुका होता।
Yet another low in Indian politics. Congress MLC makes vulgar jibes against the Prime Minister, while Rahul's aide Jignesh Mevani refers to the Prime Minister, and I quote him now, as Namak Haram. Amnesty protests ED raids at its offices, calls it an assault on civil society, also accuses the central government of an emergency mindset. Our top focus at this hour, at a time when Rahul Gandhi was leading the protest on Delhi streets in an attempt to make an impression on the country's top court, the three-judge bench led by the Chief Justice of India had other ideas. It has taken 4 steps that, on the face of it at least, have brought some relief to the centre and some discomfort to the opposition. Remember, the Supreme Court has refused to accept the challenge seeking stay on the CBI number 1's purge the CBI. Also, an implication is that this is some relief for the NDA, that the CBI number 1's stand on leave. The illegality of the matter the Supreme Court has not gone into. It is also said the CVC will complete the probe against Alok Verma in 14 days and come back to the Supreme Court with the results. But it has also, at the same time, asked a retired Supreme Court judge to oversee and supervise the probe. That the CVC probe implication is this: the Supreme Court says, given the peculiar circumstance of the case, the watchdog will be or will have to be monitored. That's how things stand right now. Let's take a look at some reactions coming in before we go to our guests.
It's a Supreme Court judgment. That is the process that is carrying on. I don't want to comment on that. But what I will say is that the Prime Minister acted against the director of the CBI as a result of panic, as a result of fear, because he has helped Mr. Anil Ambani with 30,000 crores. Reality ये है कि प्रधानमंत्री ने भ्रष्टाचार किया है और अनिल अंबानी की मदद करने के लिए किया है। कांग्रेस को एनर्जी जनता से मिलती है। जनता के दिल में एक सवाल है और ये बच्चों के दिल में है, युवाओं के, बुजुर्गों के, किसानों के, मजदूरों के। चौकीदार चोर है।
The government has no interest for or against any individual. The government is interested only in maintaining the professionalism, the image, and the institutional integrity of the CBI. Recent developments had eroded the credibility of the CBI. The CVC, in the interest of fairness, had passed an order that till investigations or inquiries is pending or are pending against the 2 top officers of the CBI, they must step aside and recuse themselves from the CBI's functioning till those inquiries or investigations are over. This was in the larger interest of fairness, because you can't be heading an agency or an investigation which is going into your own conduct. The government had given effect to that order. What has happened in the Supreme Court today is that the Supreme Court has further strengthened the fairness criteria.
Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, joins us on the program now, as does Zafar Islam, who is spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. First to you, Ashutosh Mishra, the fact that the Supreme Court has not gone into the alleged illegality of, call it an ouster, call it sidestepping or sidelining of Alok Verma, isn't that a blow to the opposition's theory and the Congress party's theory that that Alok Verma had something on the government, perhaps also on Rakesh Asthana, and it was illegal? The CVC probe stays, albeit with a rider that a retired judge will oversee it, but the probe stays.
But the thing, Athar, here is that a judge has been appointed to oversee the functioning of CBI. Government had run amok on a full moon night. Belagam ghoda ho gaye the, and they've put a lagam on it. What we'll see here is that the impartiality of the CVC has been questioned by the Supreme Court.
But that's,
it cannot on day one just declare someone to be guilty.
I apologize. Isn't that selective interpretation?
It has to hear both the sides.
Sir, let me play 1 second. Isn't that selective interpretation? Because if you look at the Supreme Court order, the last line is interestingly worded. The Supreme Court has gone to great lengths to point out that this is not really a reflection on the CVC. They're saying this is a one-time exception. Isn't that a selective interpretation by you, saying that yes, the court does not believe in the integrity of the institution, that is why a caveat of a Supreme Court retired judge has been... That's selective interpretation, sir. That's what the BJP is saying.
No, Athar. The thing here is that in one blow, unlike Mr. Modi, the Supreme Court does not want to demolish CBI. So CVC. So just to keep that it is not casting aspersion at the CVC, it has done this. But the very fact that the Supreme Court judge has been asked to oversee, it means that at some level maybe it will take a decision later and
no, that's speculative, sir. In all fairness, that is speculative. You're being speculative right now. I want to get to Zafar Islam. Before I ask you the question I want to ask you, I'll let you rebut what Ashutosh Mishra is saying. Zafar, go ahead.
Athar, first of all, let me tell you, the Congress leadership, Rahul Gandhi, all were concocting stories, making up stories, trying to fool people, trying to mislead people. They have been completely exposed by the judgment of the Supreme Court. Honorable Supreme Court has not made a single observation about the decision made by the Government of India on the basis of the recommendation made by CVC. That only suggests that the Government of India was trying to protect the image and the integrity of the institution, which needs to be protected. And they were discharging the responsibility, and that the responsibility of an opposition leader, they should have supported it. Instead, he was concocting stories and was completely exposed. And it's not only exposed, it is a snub by the Honorable Supreme Court to the opposition leaders that they are pursuing something, a very wrong policy of misleading the people and concocting stories. Second thing, which is more important, that the additional, the two things which Supreme Court has said very important, and that actually we have welcomed it. The government has welcomed it. The Bharatiya Janata Party has welcomed it. That additional comfort will have, people of India will have, everybody will have, being an ex or former CBI, former Supreme Court judge, will oversee
but doesn't that call into question, sir?
That will lend.
But doesn't that call into question, Zafar Sahab?
That fairness has been something which will always.
Let me make one comment here before I go back to Ashutosh Mishra. One, you're saying the government welcomes the fact that the Supreme Court, a retired Supreme Court judge, overseeing the investigation. I would contend, and Ashutosh Mishra would contend, the government doesn't really have a choice but to welcome it. That's the cards you've been dealt. Number two, sir, don't you think the fact that Nageshwar Rao, the interim chief, cannot make any policy decisions till this case is completely done, also the fact that whatever decisions he might have taken in these 2 days have to be sent in a sealed envelope to the court. What does that signify?
Let me respond to that. First of all, see, interim director, any interim position will always have limited flexibility. It is not here. Every single decision made in any organization, not only in CBI, every single organization.
No, but limited flexibility and no flexibility are two different things.
You will
the
have
court has
more
not given a
restrictions
choice,
than
sir.
you
The
are
court,
on a full-time,
sir, limited flexibility and no flexibility are two different things.
No. Athar, let me just complete. All I'm saying, that limitations always will be there, and that limitation is there. Secondly, since they have given they have made it within 2 weeks, the investigation should be over. That's why they have also ensured that during this process, the CBI interim director should not take any decision. What is wrong in it? It only brings fairness, and this is what we have advocated. This is Congress party. They have got a big snub from the Supreme Court that they are only fraudulent allegation they are making. They are completely
Ashutosh Mishra, respond to that. Mr. Mishra,
Rahul Gandhi should introspect.
Mr. Mishra, is this a loss of face? Is this a loss of face for the Congress party? Is this a loss of face for the Congress party? Ashutosh, why not?
He has the.
It's if anything, it's a slap on the face of Modi government, because Alok Verma and Rakesh Asthana
both
were
a slap on
appointed by
your face
the Modi government.
and the Congress party and leadership and their supporter. The people of India know the government has welcomed every single decision.
Even in case of, अरे आप झूठ रक्षक हैं, आप चुप, आप सुनिए.
Even in case of Alok Verma,
Mr. Kharge had given a
was he
dissenting note.
reinstated?
Calm down, both of you calm down. Let Ashutosh finish. Please, let Ashutosh finish.
जो भी चोर हो, उनमें से एक चौकीदार का चोर है. Either if Mr. Alok Verma is a chor or Mr. Rakesh Asthana is the chor, whoever gets caught, in the end, चौकीदार का चोर है. Because Mr. Alok Verma was also forced on the CBI by Mr. Modi. Mr. Kharge had given
Ashutosh
a
Mishra, here's why I say,
and Mr.
Ashutosh ji,
who was supported
ये
by
तो वही बात हो गई कि I'll have my cake and I'll eat it too. आप अभी कह रहे हैं, नहीं, one second. आशुतोष जी, ये लास्ट क्वेश्चन है मेरा. कल तक आप ये कह रहे थे, कांग्रेस पार्टी ये कह रही थी कि भाई आलोक वर्मा को टारगेट किया जा रहा है. अभी आप कहते हैं वो आलोक वर्मा को भी फॉइस्ट किया गया सीबीआई के ऊपर. You can't have it both ways, sir. You have to pick a line.
आज भी नहीं, ये तो लाइन तो क्लियर है. लाइन इज वेरी क्लियर that in this case what happened was that Mr. Alok Verma refused to toe the line of the Modi government.
तो फिर आपका वो पॉइंट है ना कि मोदी गवर्नमेंट में फॉइस्ट किया गया है. या तो वो मोदी गवर्नमेंट के आदमी है या तो वो उनके he standing up to them. He can't be both. He can either stand up to the government or he can be their man.
और उनकी बात सुनी नहीं. उनकी बात सुनी नहीं ना. आखिर में हुआ क्या कि उनकी बात सुनी नहीं. And Rakesh Asthana, who would have toed the line, was being foisted upon, and when he got caught, and Rakesh Asthana has a checkered past.
Okay.
He was caught way back in 2011. I mean, this is an income tax case dating back to 2011. So you can't blame it on Alok Verma or Congress.
Okay, gentlemen, I have to stop you there. There's some breaking news coming in right now. Sepoy Rajendra Singh, who was part of a quick reaction team who was providing security to a Border Roads Organization convoy on the 25th of October at Anantnag bypass Strait Junction. Few youth hurled stones at his vehicle and Sepoy Rajendra Singh was injured and hit by a stone directly on the head. He was provided immediate first aid, evacuated to the base hospital. He had joined the army in 2016. He has now breathed his last. Let's go across now to my colleagues who are joining us for more details on this. Farid on the phone line. Farid, what can we tell our viewers about Rajendra Singh, the Sepoy? He's no more.
Yes, that's right. He's Sepoy Rajendra Singh, 22 years of age. He was part of the quick reaction team. And in fact, this happened when this convoy, he was traveling in, reached Anantnag bypass junction where there was stone pelting, and according to army press release, a stone hit his head, after which he was grievously wounded, was shifted out to the hospital, in fact the 92 base hospital of the army in Srinagar, and then today he has succumbed to his injuries. He's from Badena, that's in Uttarakhand, had joined the army in 2016. And this really is shocking for the army, because probably for the first time we've seen that an army Jawan, we've seen CRPF injuries, police injuries, people succumbing to stone pelting, but it's probably for the first time that the army Jawan has been in such a manner, hit by a stone getting trapped in a stone pelting area and then grievously wounded and succumbed to his injuries in 92 base hospital.
And the army has paid befitting tribute there, a solemn ceremony at Badami Bagh cantonment. Let's go across now to my colleague Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan joining us for more on this. The first time, as Farid was pointing out, Madhav, perhaps where a soldier has succumbed to his injuries that he got from stone pelters.
Well, yes, and this is very significant, Athar. Now, all this while, there has always sought to be made a difference between stone pelters and those who are actual terrorists who have picked up the gun. Now, what very clearly this entire episode proves is that these stone pelters, if they are now beginning to take the lives of our Jawans, then this is absolutely unacceptable to any extent, because stone pelting or picking up the gun ultimately is an act of violence. Any difference that may have been sought to be put out, like has been in the past, like separatists have tried to tell time and again, is clearly not the case. We know that these individuals in the past, it's been exposed here on this very channel, how stone pelters themselves have been aided, have been abetted by forces outside of India, by Pakistan, and now very clearly with this particular incident taking place, this raises the concern as far as such stone pelters
Madhav, we're also
concerned.
getting another voice here. Majid Haidari joins us now. He's a political analyst. Mr. Haidari, this is perhaps the first time that a Jawan has succumbed to injuries that were given to him by stone pelters.
See, this is really unfortunate, and my sympathies are with the bereaved family. But the point is that these innocent lives, be it the army Jawan or the civilians or the Kashmiri youth who have picked up guns, these are being killed to make the sentiment of New Delhi and to make the politics of BJP grow time by time.
No,
why are these killings not being stopped?
Succumbed to his injuries after being attacked by stone pelters.
See, the stone pelting is reaction to the civilian killings in Kashmir. Last week only 7 civilians have been killed because of the negligence of Jammu and Kashmir police. We never discussed that, but what we all discuss is that some Jawan has been killed, and that is selective condemnation. We want condemnation from all sides.
Stay on with us. Brigadier Mahalingam joins us. Brigadier V. Mahalingam, perhaps for the first time in such a long history of fighting insurgency in Kashmir, soldier has succumbed to his injuries that he got after getting hit by stones, pelted by pelters.
Well, first of all, my heart goes out to the Jawan who has been killed yesterday by the stone pelters. Having said that, I must very categorically say that, and as far as the killing an individual is concerned, which is called the murder, any number of weapons can be used. Maybe it is a gun, it could be a sword or a knife or anything. And one amongst them is stone pelting. And the army has already released figures to say that 8 soldiers have so far been killed, and this is yet another individual who has been killed. So the point that we must remember is any number of soldiers have any number of stone pelters.
All right, Brigadier Mahalingam, we thank you for your views, and thank you, Madhav, for joining us on the story. We'll take a very short break right now. When we come back, there's more. Stay with us.